Well, it's hard to get your head round, isn't it, really? The whole thing with the Annunaki. You know, in one sense they're saying it's myth, and then the other sense they're saying that they came from the Sumerians and rah. So we're just playing a few pictures here. Hopefully you can see them. They're a little bit small, but I was quite interested in who are the Anunnaki, because to me, even just saying that word Anunnaki, it conjures up to me Indians. And there you go, bit of information there. The Anunnaki created many totems. So totems are Indians or tribal people. Nearly every country has totems. We don't seem to have one, but I bet we did. Or maybe that's the people up in Scotland, you know, the blue people up in Scotland. But, you know, when you look at the pictures, a lot of them, even the Egyptians, because people don't realise when they're showing all those feathers, they're Indians with totems. Pictures kind of, in a way, look a little bit Egyptian, but that is the tree of life. Got an eagle up there. Is that the phoenix? Then that would be before the Egyptians, or this lot is the oh, I don't know. But anyway, when you're looking at them, a lot of them have feathers. And to me, feathers are Indians. And the tree of life, I suppose, is the totem, or turns into the totem. So I think we just have a bit more of a look. But look at all the feathers. Ooh. You know, they're just a different set of Indians, tribal people, with their little bags, which we're going to talk a bit about, and play a little bit of Bro Sanchez. Hopefully he doesn't mind me playing a little bit of his video, and neither does the lady, because they've got such a brilliant way of explaining things and different opinions. The lady is very, she's brilliant, because she's worked it all out to show you. But to me, they're Indians. Tribal people, totems. Everybody had them. All the Indians had them in Canada, America, the Vikings, you know, the Maoris, etc, except England doesn't seem to have them. But these are the gods which make up the Anunnaki. It seems to be a set of people or gods. I don't know. You know, most things, when we're told that they're wives' tales and all that, end up being real. But oh yes, we've got a little bit of Bro Sanchez coming up. The tree of life, eagles, phoenixes, very Egyptian-like, saying that most of this is Sumerian, with their handbag things, buckets. See, that to me is a man, and he's got a mask on, like an Indian would. With the little stone bags, which we're going to go into a little bit more in a minute. And also a little bit of information from Bro Sanchez. To me, that is an Indian. I'm going to look one up now. Okay, these ones are a little bit different, but it's all about headdresses. Do you see what I mean? Headdresses. That's what that person, well, it's more like a mask, wasn't it? Wearing an eagle on your head. But I suppose that is also Egyptian, isn't it? Okay, this one is a bird, but it's still a headdress. The other ones just cover their faces. My reasoning is, about 6 months ago, maybe a bit less, can't remember now, I made I made loads of videos about the fact that this whole place we lived in was covered in Indians. It started off as Indians everywhere. They all had totems. Yeah. This is what we're looking at, I think. And these are quite incredible. It's in here somewhere where the fish people. Yes. And the totem again. And just looking up stone bags, and then I came across this nice lady, so we will I actually wondered whether they were medicine bags. There you go, there it is. Look at that. So it says, in Mesopotamia there are recorded legends of a heroic bringer of civilization to humanity, a being known as Apapa, dragon, or cans. This mythical figure is portrayed in several forms: a fish-tailed man, an eagle-headed man, or a winged man, always carrying a bag in one hand. Well, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Because the winged man is definitely the Indians. So a fish-tailed man, an eagle-headed man, or a winged man. I think we're going to look up that a little bit more as well. I don't really understand why this mythical figure is portrayed in several forms: a fish-tailed man, an eagle-headed man, or a winged man. Well, I suppose we're looking at this. The eagle-headed man is in the pictures we've already seen, and the winged man, that's the Indians. So obviously just different tribes of Indians, but we're going to look up the fish-tailed headed man. So, the sea god. So the sea god, the eagle-headed man, and we've got the feather ones because they're definitely the Red Indians. They're just different tribes across the plain we live on. Well, just looking at that picture because it drew me to the attention there, Wikipedia, that is a phoenix. Well, they're all part of the same thing. The fish-headed, the phoenix, the feathers-headed ones. Yeah, they're obviously just different tribes. Well, not only do we have a little bit of Bro Sanchez, which I really don't think he'll mind me putting a little bit of his video in. And this person here is making videos. It's absolutely great. People are trying to work this out. So I really hope that this person doesn't mind me using just a tiny bit of her video. And I like the way that she's explaining it. Thank you very much, creator. Curious being.
The most talked about handbag artifacts are the following. The ones carried by the winged genies, semi-gods Abaklu from Mesopotamia. The ones on top of a pillar at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. And the bag carried by a person along with the feathered serpent god in Mexico. There are also the stone bags of the giraffe culture from ancient Iran and the story of the 3 Mari bags or baskets of knowledge. While the contents of the bags are hidden from the viewers, that's rather secretive. In this video, I'll focus on the puzzling stone handbags originated in ancient Iran, which were also discovered in Mesopotamian temples. These objects are the ones that bear the most resemblance to the so-called bags on the Göbekli Tepe pillar. Let's see if they are truly handbags or something else unexpected.
That's quite a good way of explaining it, I suppose. They've got the pyramid in the middle. Yes. The ancient handbag. Well, the Egyptians acquired the pyramids. They didn't make them, so it was before then. So maybe it was the Sumerians. Annunaki. But I would have already have told you when I look at it, with a name like Annunaki and all the other names which put it together, they're Indians. Do you think it's like the picture we just looked at, or do you think it's a handbag? I wanted to get a bell just a little bit like what they're holding. And there you are, Roman bronze square bell. Had to be the blooming Romans, didn't it? But anyway, do you think that it's more like a bell? Or do you think they look more like buckets? Anyway, really nice that this person took the time to put it all together to show you that the history can't be right, because so many different races and times with people and the handbags.
The earliest possible handbags are from the Neolithic sites, Göbekli Tepe, dated from 10,000 BC and 8,000 BC. About 5,000 years later, the stone bags of the Giraffe culture spread throughout the Near East in the 3rd millennium BC. Then over 1,000 years after, we have the new Assyrian reliefs of genies carrying buckets or handbags in the 9th century BC, and the Olmec carving of a person with a bag in Levante, Mexico, likely between 900 BC to 400 BC, during which time Levante became the most prominent Olmec center.
Maybe they needed the buckets when they were cross-pollinating plants. The bit I still feel, because this is a man in there, that these are just tribal Indians. With the tree of life, which I think turns into the totems, doesn't it? See, they've got wings like Indians. And they look quite Egyptian at the same time. Anyway, we'll get back on with the, well, whatever you want to call them.
As for the Maori bags of knowledge story, it probably happened another 1,000+ years later, since the Maori people came to New Zealand from Polynesia in the 13th century. So, these presumed handbag portrayals are separated by thousands of years. If these handbags have certain common, cross-cultural symbolic meanings, then I would assume there will be more illustrations or mentions of them, right? The fact that these bag-like items were disconnected by 1,000 to 5,000 years makes me wonder if they were meant to represent the same type of object, or if their functions are unrelated. In my previous video, I explained why the handbags depicted in Assyrian reliefs could be pollen-filled buckets, which exhibited artificial pollination of date palms, or a water container for sprinkling rituals. Whether bags or buckets, these containers are designed to carry all kinds of stuff. Since the Assyrian and Olmec reliefs show a person or a spirit carrying a bag-like item, these items could indeed be handbags, buckets, or baskets. While at Göbekli Tepe, these bag-looking objects stand alone and are not associated with a person or one's hand. They look like bags, yes, but they also echo kettlebells.
Hey, so after all that, we've got a few minutes of Bro Sanchez saying, "We are the Anunnaki." But we would be, wouldn't we? If there had been Indians, and obviously it's a long generation ago, but then they would be us, but they have them down as mythical. Yet they talk about the Sumerians and talk about that they would come from there and all that kind of thing. But I think the people have moved. Like, I put a video out yesterday about the dancing, and it said the Turkics, they started here and they moved to Turkey. Large body of people that have moved to a country and then are living there, supposedly. So, we've probably got the same thing going on here. Anyway, without ado, let's watch a few minutes of Bro Sanchez. And I really don't think he'll mind me putting a couple of minutes in. It's a long time ago now, but in 2018, I had a few hangouts with him. And it was with Santos as well. And what it was is that I'd finished the uploading and he carried on recording. And he recorded a bit more of me and him talking. But we haven't spoken since. But anyway, thank you very much, Bro Sanchez. It's just very interesting hearing what you've got to say.
Now, welcome back. Peace and much love. People, I want to tell you something that nobody probably never told you. Me and you, we are the Anunnaki. You know what? That ain't funny. I'm dead ass. I want to say this again to you. Make sure I get it on the mic. You listening to me, you looking at me right now. You and me, we are the Anunnaki, and I'm finna prove it to you right now. Stay with me, watch this. Now listen, people. Listen, people. Before we get deep into this, I want to point out some key factors. Anytime somebody is talking to you about an advanced species or this alien type race that existed or whatever, guess what they're talking about? The spirit body, which was called the Nagini or the Naga, which is how you get the Naki in Anunnaki. Okay, the Naki in Anunnaki is also dealing with Enoch, because the Naki or the Naga, the people who we call the Nagini, which is souls, again, you and me. See, everybody's not the Anunnaki. But I think, therefore I am. I'm going to show y'all something today, and it ain't a reach. Now, you can believe in fairy tales. You can continue believing in green aliens and all that other crap that's, mythology. Or you can start getting involved into self-consciousness. Because all that other stuff is mysticism and spookism. Let me point out something to you. If the Anunnaki made humans, who made the Anunnaki? Let me tell you non-religious people something. Y'all be going after these religious people, and I don't like it because I used to be religious and we need to be patient with one another. But drop a 1 in the chat room if y'all can agree what I'm about to say, that a lot of us woke people, we like to go after the religious people, but a lot of these woke people, they believe in the Anunnaki. And the religious person believe in Enoch, and they think they believing in something different. See, the woke person ain't really woke. The Christian is more woke than them, because at least the Christian know that Enoch is a human being like me and you, and that any one of us can ascend up to heaven. Why? Because people with souls are connected to the universe. People without a soul, they look at us like aliens. And you gotta quit looking at yourself like an alien. We are the damn Anunnaki, and I'm about to show you why right now. Now watch this, right? People who bring up all of these other beings like aliens and all them, one thing they do to make you not realize that you are that thing is to show you your limitations. They say, well, if you think you the aliens, then why you can't leave the earth then? And I'd be like, I can leave the earth. I do it every time I go to sleep. I was in a whole nother world the other night and a wolf was chasing me in my other body, in my other reality. I'm gonna show you what the Anunnaki is today, because when you realize that you the Anunnaki, you're gonna tap into your ability to lead the earth and have out-of-body experiences like Enoch did and ascend up to them sky gates. Now listen what I'm telling you, right? Everybody want to point out your limitations. Well, if you God, then did you make that sun and moon? I'd be like, yes, I did. How did you do it? I did it in my sleep, man. Just like when I dream, I make a sun and moon. I make a whole nother me.